Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Alpha Plays Frostpunk. Let's go ahead and get this back loaded up, get back into our town. Hopefully you enjoyed the first episode. I enjoyed making it, and hopefully we can continue to have some more fun as we try to survive the cold, yeah? As we left off our last episode, we were just getting the foundations of our city started, just kind of building a, foundation for surviving the approaching cold weather. And here we go. See if we can pick back up where we left off with what we had going on. We had, looks like, some temperature coming in. We were also working on getting housing for everyone, which looks like we did. We were actually almost maxed out on coal. And looks like we've got some research we need to work on too. Let's go ahead and get, I believe we should probably grab hunter's gear, yes. So our hunting cabins can get more food for our people. And that we don't starve, yes. Alright, we've got everybody. We have no sick people, no homeless people, so we're doing pretty well here. Doing pretty well. Let's see where we're at. We need to get some resource gathering stuff out here on the fringes, because we do have, these piles here are limited, so it won't be too long before they run out. As you can see, we've got workers going to gather them, but with these cold temperatures coming, they will start to get ill from having to go gather that stuff. So let's start working on setting up kind of like a gathering infrastructure. I believe because we're doing free play, we've gotten access to steelworks, coal thumper, coal mine, sawmill, wall drill, stuff like that. So let's see where we can get our wall drill set up. Looks like there's a space here, there's a space there, and it looks like that's our only two options for the wall drill. But there's a lot of wood here that we can get for free, basically, if we just build a sawmill. So let's do that first. We'll build a sawmill kind of out here and clear some of these trees, and then make our way towards the space to put the wall drill. Alright, so we gotta be kind of careful though, because we're gonna have to run a street out there. Let's just go ahead and do that. Find a little connection here. Let's see. Looks like this will be a good spot, and you can kind of try and keep it on a straight line here. There we go. Get them building that, and then we'll get our sawmill connected, and then that way our people won't, we can actually build heaters and stuff out there. That way when they're working, they're not cold. That is something I've noticed you need to keep an eye on as well. So here we go. Make your little pathways. The guy just disappeared into the snow. That'd be a sucky job, man. Clear, like, however many feet of snow. It looks like 6 feet of snow to build a little pathway all the way out here into the wilderness, right? Okay, so we've got, I think we just have the one hunting cabin, so we're getting 15 food, which I'm not sure if that's actually enough. Let's see. Yeah, so we actually need more food. We need a second hunter's cabin, which, where can we put that? I guess we can put it right behind our first one, because these don't really need heat so much because they're going out into the middle of the night. They're not working from the building itself, if that makes sense. So we'll go ahead and get the street constructed there. And we're going to need a storehouse as well, because we're almost maxed on coal here, which you want to, the more coal, wow, English, the more coal you can get, the better. All right, they've built our road. Let's get our sawmill up and running. I don't want to destroy any of the trees when we place it. We want to maximize our gathering. So it looks like there. So what we'll do is once they've gathered everything, we'll destroy the sawmill, move it, kind of move it to each location until we clear all of these trees. That's a lot of lumber there for us to get right off the bat. So that'll be good for our wood income, because wood is one of your resources you need a lot of, especially early on when you're constructing buildings. You can go through wood pretty quick, and then Once you get to the higher level buildings, you will start needing steel, which we'll start gathering here in a little bit. So it looks like they're getting coal, which there's not too terribly much left in that coal deposit. There's quite a few coal deposits out and about. I'm trying to remember where we had most of our people going. It looks like they were going, getting the wood from those crates, which once we get the sawmill up and running, most of these people will transition to the sawmill. Especially once they finish clearing this little node here. There's only 100 left, so it won't take too long. Where can we build a storehouse? Resource depot extends our storage capacity. That's what we want. Mainly because we are rapidly approaching max capacity for coal. So if we make this like a little resource area kind of out here, I feel like that'll be a good way to do that. So we'll build that there. We'll get that. Once that's built, you can tell it which resource you want to store. It doesn't apply to all of them, which I thought was kind of interesting. You know, a lot of games you just build a depot and it increases for everything. Not so much in Frostpunk. When you build a resource depot, it's only for the resource you choose. And seeing as we're right about max level for coal, we're going to want to go ahead and increase that. That way, if we do go over, we can actually start getting kind of an excess or surplus of coal, which will come in handy here soon once we get our main generator researched to the next level of heating, because it basically, I think it doubles when you get to steam level 2. Yeah, 200% coal, so that's, you know, and so forth and so on. And then as well for the ranges, it's just going to start needing more and more coal. So we'll get as much coal as we can now, and then eventually I'll be able to build some of the coal mining equipment, and then we should be set on coal gathering. We just need these guys to hurry up and build this thing. That would be great. We also need to get like a steam hub kind of out here. That way, if the weather does get bad, which it looks like it's going to be pretty mild, it'll drop once and then go right back up. But if the weather does turn, we will have a heat source out here for the people that are working. That way they don't get cold and get sick while they're at work. Because that is, I found in my single player camp that I've had to restart my single player campaign so many times because I keep finding ways to fail. But I love a game like that where you learn from your mistakes and you get better, and this game definitely does that. Okay. So 10 people there. I guess let's go ahead and just throw in some engineers, and then as soon as my workers finish this node, I'll swap the engineers for the workers. Like I said before in episode 1, I like to keep my engineers free because some of the technological, oh my god, English again, buildings, your advanced buildings, you know, the engineers are the ones you need. So, all right, where is our, we do have a medical tent. Yes, we have one medical tent, and it looks like it's at capacity too. So we'll probably need to get another one of those here soon. Hunter's gear, nice. So now our huts are going to start bringing in more food, although we're short on people, so we need to get more citizens into our town, which means we're going to need to build, I believe it's called the Beacon, which will allow us to send out scouting parties to various locations. Oh wow, we actually researched everything except for heaters. I need 50 wood for that. Okay, let's start saving up wood. So that's interesting that it gave us some level 2 technologies, but it didn't actually give us the level 2 technology line. Does that make sense? Like, we have access to coal mining, wall drill, I guess that's just those two, but those are level 2 technologies, but it gave us those right off the bat, but we still have to research for the rest of the tier 2, so we'll save up for wood. That way we can get that going. Looks like this is done. Go ahead and add coal. Bingo. Oh, coal pile depleted. Okay. So you guys transition to this coal pile. Hopefully that'll be enough coal to last us until I can build the coal gathering equipment. Like, I think the coal thumper is the best one because it's infinite. It just requires a few more buildings to go along with it. You have to build a coal thumper and 2 gathering posts, which is very labor intensive. So I think maybe the mine is less labor intensive, but it does have a limit to how much it can gather. Like, you would put the coal mine here, but maybe that has a crap ton of resources. I guess we can find out. What do we need to build a coal mine? So the coal mine does 240 per day. The thumper does 560 per day. Holy moly. So the thumper really generates a lot of coal, but it requires, I think, like 45, because you need the people to run the two gathering posts, and you need the people to run the thumper itself. For the sake of science, let's build the mine first, because it's actually relatively close right here, so we can just run a street out here real quick and see if we can build that. But before we do that, I need more people. Our workforce is very thin right now, which means we're gonna need le beacon. And the beacon, as I close the menu, requires 20 wood, 35 steel, so we can knock that out. I actually want to get that built soon. Where do we want to put the beacon? It doesn't really matter. Like I said, it doesn't require any heat or anything, so let's get it as far away as we can. That way we have plenty of space. So we'll put the beacon. Street is under construction. So it looks like we can put the beacon here. Hopefully that'll connect to the road. I hope so, otherwise we're gonna lose some resources moving that back around. Alright, weather changes. So the temperature is about to drop 1 level, which I believe will take us to negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit, which is very cold. But it gets worse. In single player, I think I was close to like negative 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, I don't know how you survived that. But I don't know how the temperatures are going to play out in the free build type mode or the free play mode if we're going to see extremes like that, because it's going to drop 1 and then a day and a half later it's going to go right back to where it is now. So we should be good there. Our biggest problem, though, we can't really expand anymore until we get more people, and that's what that beacon is going to allow us to do. So as soon as that gets up and running, we can start sending out scouting parties to hopefully bring back not only people, but you will find resources as well as some technologies. I believe you can bring back, if you get lucky, one of the automatons. I pronounced that. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but it's like the big mechanical workers that kind of replace a workforce in a building, which is very nice. So maybe we can find some of that. I desperately need more people because we don't have any more. As you can see, the Hunters Lodge, we don't have any workers that can run it because they're out here gathering everything. Alright, our beacon is under construction. That is good. That is good. Looks like all of our homes are... Oh, I somehow managed to click on... I was like, why are these two menus different? But I somehow managed to actually click on a citizen. So it looks like all of the homes are comfortable, so when this temperature drops, they should drop down to livable, which is fine. As long as everything is still in the orange/red heat on our little thermometer here, our people should be good. So, okay, we're in between work days. Our coal dropped pretty good. We have, what does it say, 2 days worth of coal, so we should be fine there. Alright. I wish they would hurry up with this beacon. The only problem is we're going to need workers for that too, so we're going to have to probably pull some workers off of here. We're no longer lost and blind. From now on, our people will be able to survey the icy barrens around us. Nice. The beacon. Alright, the beacon is complete, and look at that. It's like this big balloon that goes up. It's a literal beacon. Gondor calls for aid. No. But it goes kind of outside of your little hole here. So that what that does is it opens up, you kind of saw it there when I scrolled a bit too far, but it opens up like the world map. So we'll be able to actually send our expeditions to these various places to look for survivors and look for resources and other interesting things. But in order to do that, I need to put together a scouting party, and that requires 5 workers. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop that down to 10, fill it with engineers, take those 5 workers, and create the scouting party. But we need wood, so again, we are stuck waiting for wood. Not only do we need wood for the scouts, we also need wood for the research tree, the second level of the tech tree. So we're kind of just stuck waiting. You can fast forward time, but I found that to be very dangerous in this game because things can change rather quickly if you're not paying attention, although I think we would be okay to do it here. There's really nothing else we can do until we can get the resources that we need. So I'll go ahead and speed it up slightly, although it just went back to normal. So we'll go ahead and speed that up. Actually, we'll just go full speed ahead here. Let that gather some wood. Although it keeps, every time it triggers a event, it goes back to normal time, which is nice. But there you can see the temperature drops so down to -22, which is a wee bit cold. Alright, so here we go. Now we're getting some wood. Alright, we'll go back to normal speed because that should be enough wood to build our scouting party. It is. So now we have a team of scouts. So where should we send them? Lonely Light, Empty Shelter, Supply Depot, or Rock Formation? We're looking for people. So I don't think an Empty Shelter, Supply Depot, those look probably are going to have resources. Rock Formation, maybe we got some people hiding in the caves or in the rocks. So we'll send our guys out. You can see there it was going to take about a day and a half for them to reach it. So our scouts are out and about. And we'll continue hopefully gathering wood here. Go ahead and speed it back up. Again, there's nothing we can do until I get the wood necessary for the next level of tech trees. Okay, we're at 50 wood. Steel wreckage depleted. Okay. We'll transition them to that steel pile. Alright. And let's see, generator. Yeah, we don't need to worry about the overdrive. Looks like we're still fine on coal. But this is what we need. We need to be able to unlock the second level of technologies there. So our little factory will start working on that. We should probably build a second research factory workshop. Actually, let me see if I can do that real quick. Because it does speed up your research process. So we'll put you there. It looked like it needed a street, so we'll build another little road here. So we're building a street, building a second factory, which means I'm going to need to take some more of these engineers off, which is fine. Hopefully this little wood pile will be completed soon. Yeah. So hopefully they might not finish it in this workday, though. There's only a couple hours left, but if we can deplete this wood pile, I can take these 5 engineers, put them in the workshop, and then take the remaining 10 workers and move them elsewhere. We are going to need to build those coal gathering facilities sooner rather than later. Alright, we got we have a mission. Survive the first storm in 11 days. So looks like in 11 days we're going to get something nasty. So we definitely want to make sure we get our heating research done and our coal infrastructure completed. That way when these nasty storms come, we can survive. Oh, we got a new law we can put into place here. So can we go up either? Oh, we can. Okay. So in single player, you had to pick one or the other, but it looks like in this one you can go whichever way. So do we want to be kind of like a militaristic, authoritarian type government, or do we want to be a little like a religious, you know, the church rules everything type place? We'll see. I think for now we should keep going down this tree because it does help us keep our people alive. Let's see. Soup is nice because it takes your raw food and lets it go further. As you can see there, we can cook soup instead of full made meals with the same amount of food. So basically you get an extra ration per raw food source. The alternative is basically feed people sawdust. We can add sawdust to meals to make them more filling, although not exactly tasty or healthy. You don't say. I don't think we want to add sawdust to our meals. It's not that desperate, because eventually when you go down this tree up here, you do get access to a thing, I believe it's called moonshine, which reduces the negative hope and discontent that you get with soup. So we can deal with the grumpy people for a while, and then eventually this will be the way to go. So let's go ahead and sign into effect soup, which will give us, you'll see, we'll start getting more rations for the food we're bringing in. And once we can get some more people in here and staff our second hunter's lodge, we should be fine on food. Eventually also we'll be able to get access to kind of like farms. I mean, you can't really farm in this weather, but it's like a greenhouse type thing. So it's a steam heated greenhouse basically, and we'll be able to actually grow food during the day. So the hunters go out at night and get you raw food, and then eventually we'll be able to build, I think it's called a hothouse, which will let us make food during the day. So you'll have ration or raw food coming in at all times and then being converted to rations, which will be nice, especially if we're starting to grow in population. Food is going to become important, as well as heat. Heat and food are your two biggies. All right, so it looks like there's there is all of 8 wood left out here. So the next workday, they're gonna come out here, pick up like 2 pieces of wood, and then it's gonna be gone. That's fine though. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and take the engineers off of here because they're gonna go right into here. They're actually almost done building our second workshop, which will allow us to research things faster during the day when they are operational. And then once that research is done, we'll have the second level of the tech tree too, which means we can start working on heat. I think that's where we're going to go next as far as research is heat, especially with this down here, you know, survive the first storm. I don't know how bad that storm's going to be. It won't, until we get a lot closer, we won't be able to see just how bad that temperature drop is. But I want to be prepared for that, so we'll send out our scouts from the beacon. You can see the beacon go up here. I think that's just really cool, and you can actually see the progress of your guys. So what happens is you'll go to here, and it should give you some choices, like to either, you know, sometimes there's events, like you'll run into like people or a cave with animals, and you kind of got to make a choice, because your scouts can die. So if you come all, you know, if you pick up a bunch of resources and you get 4 or 5 steps in, and then you lose them, you've lost everything. So you kind of got to pick and choose when to send them back with stuff. So I'll be curious to see what we get from this rock formation. But that's what the beacon does. There it is. There's our beacon. You can get some scouts out. You can actually build more than one scouting party once you get the research, which I believe will probably help you in the long run, being able to send out 2 parties or more at once. We don't need that right now. What we need, though, is them to bring back some survivors. Because I don't have the workforce. I've got 5 free engineers, and they're actually going to go right here. So everyone has a job, everyone is working, and that's all we can do really until we get more people. And hopefully it's soon, because we're not really producing enough food. The soup law, the soup law of 2019, that will help. But I don't think it's a long-term solution, especially when we start bringing in more people. Alright, so we can't really do a whole lot at night again, so we'll fast forward till the next morning shift and see what's what. We are slowly losing coal. Looks like we're about breaking even. Maybe losing a little bit of coal each night, but that's fine. We'll be able to take care of that as soon as we get some more people. Go ahead, fast, quick time here. 7 o'clock. It'll go back to. Oh no, it actually went right on through that, didn't it? Here goes. Get to work. All right, so there's our wood crate being depleted. I knew that was coming. So these guys are take out the engineers, put the workers. And then we need to get some coal. Oh, good timing. This is done, and we have another law we can. Okay. All right, level 2 technologies. Here we go. Heating, generator power upgrade. This will come in handy. Exploration. We don't need more scouts right now. Sawmill. We don't need this yet. Well, actually, we do. That will help us. 25% efficiency on that sawmill. So, and then we also have the hothouse. This is what we might want to do. This is what I was talking about that lets us basically get food during the day. And there's also the bunkhouse. Let's actually do that. What that is, it basically upgrades our tents to actual solid structure homes. So we'll definitely want to get that done ASAP, because it increases their insulation level. So as those colder weathers as the colder weather approaches, having everyone in the homes will definitely help. It will make it to where if we have to build a 3rd row of housing, which eventually I'm sure we will, we'll have to actually probably build way more than that, it'll allow us to heat them more efficiently. Alright, so everybody is out. We've got, looks like 10 engineers that have something they need to do. I guess we could just have them go ahead and start grabbing this giant pile of wood that's just sitting right here. But you can see the sawmill is starting to make progress already, clearing some of these trees. So once all this is gone, we can build the wall drill, which will give us basically an unlimited supply of wood. We could build it now, but it would destroy a bunch of these trees, and I'm not one to just give away resources, especially now when we can get away with just using a sawmill to clear all this. No reason to get rid of it. Alright, we got another law we can put into place. I think once we get on most of these, we can pick a tree to go down. So, let's see. Cemetery. Yeah, if we build a cemetery, let's just do that. And then we'll put it way out here by way out here by the beacon. Yeah, what could go wrong by putting a cemetery literally right in front of the beacon? That way, if we do have some people pass away, we actually give them a proper burial. The alternative would be just to literally dig a ditch in the snow and throw people in it, which is just crazy. But if, I guess desperate times would call for desperate measures, but we are in a good enough position to be able to actually have a cemetery. And eventually the next law we can do like funeral services. So what happens is when someone dies, obviously discontent and hope gets affected, but if you have a cemetery and you do proper burials, those negative effects are, you know, nullified or countered. So it definitely helps to do that stuff when you can. And we don't need any radical laws or anything like that right now either. Provide a place for the dead. Yep, we're working on that now. Nice, bunkhouses researched. So we can start upgrading homes, and we actually have the resources to do it. It's 20 wood and 10 steel. So we'll go ahead and upgrade. Just do 4 real quick. You'll see they pop up homeless. Well, that's because their homes are literally under construction. Doing some renovations. Nothing like renovating your neighborhood in negative 22-degree weather. Am I right? Alright, so that's working. Our scouts will be there shortly. I'm curious to see what will happen when they get there, what our choices are going to be. Hopefully it's people. If they find some survivors, we're going to come right back with them. Because that's kind of what's holding back our expansion and growth right now, is we just don't have the people. So hopefully they'll find that, although resources would be nice as well. I'll really take anything at this point. But we really need some more citizens to come into Alpha Town, this lovely town that we have here. Alright, so they're building homes. You'll see what I mean when these finish. It's basically, it turns them into an actual house, which should help people's morale, I would think. Going from a tent to an actual solid structure. There you go. And you'll see the homeless numbers go down because people just move right back in. And these should all finish about the same time. Right, so we are still losing coal, it looks like. It's these steam hubs. These guys right here. The cemetery has been established. We now put our dead to rest. Hope rises. Very well. Once this temperature goes back up, I'm going to turn off these steam generators because we really don't need them on, and they're just eating a lot of our coal. So if we turn these off, we should be able to build up a pretty good reserve of coal, which will help us down the road. Research. What do we want to work on? I didn't pick another research. So medical post. People get well 10% faster. That's a good one. The sawmill upgrade would be nice as well. And then we can also upgrade our generator. But we don't want to do that right now. I think let's go ahead and upgrade the sawmill. What that'll do is that'll get us wood at an increased rate, especially since we're actually running out. I say we're running out. There's not any close, these wood piles. There's a few more out here, but they're really far away. So what this will do, we'll just have a constant supply of wood coming in, which should help us when we're building things. Looks like all of our houses are done. We just have this other little section of homes to upgrade. And then we should be set for a minute as far as housing goes. Looks like, alright, our scouts should be there any second. I wonder what they will find. I wonder. We got a nice little town going, though. But it can go to hell real quick in this game. I found that out the hard way. Alright, scouts have arrived at the rock formation. Alright, a distinct spot in Frostland. We can use it as a waypoint for further exploration. Explore. New landmark. Our search hasn't uncovered anything of value, but we may be able to reach some more promising locations from here. Carry on. Okay, so we came up with nothing. Well, it looks like it's on to the Rocky Promontory? Is that how you say that? And that's going to be another day and a half. That's not good. Hopefully this trek will be worth it, and we're actually starting to get some more sick people, and I only have the one hospital. Let's go ahead and make another one just to try and get on top of this. So we'll build another medical tent. And I need to find out where those engineers are. There's 10 of them here. Yeah, we got a lot of people getting sick right now. I'm not sure why. We've got 5 sick, and 5 are... This hospital's full. Looks like a few of them are going to come out here in a minute, but still, I'd rather be ahead of the plague as opposed to behind it, yes? Alright, so let's get that built and get staffed with engineers, and then as soon as this temperature goes up, I'm going to turn off those steam hubs. Looks like it's going to drop. We got 4 more days, yeah. 7, 8, 9, yeah, pretty much 4 days until it drops again, and it's only going to drop 1 level, so by the time that happens, we should have a good chunk of coal saved up by turning off these guys. Especially now that there's houses here, this one, like, these really don't serve a purpose right now. And we actually will want to go ahead and upgrade these two. Bingo. Alright, so take away 5 there. Staff them here. Nice. So that should... Yep, everyone's in treatment, so we don't have any people wandering around sick anymore. That is good. And I think we've got enough wood to upgrade. It's 20 wood, so I can only really do 1. There's no point in... We'll wait until the next cycle to hopefully build some more of those. But as you can see, we're pretty much coming up empty on food every day, even with the soup law, the soup law of 2019. Even with that law, we're still struggling with food, which is why I was hoping to find some more people to bring back into town so we could staff this second hunter's hut. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. I suppose we could pull... Can't really afford to pull people off these other nodes, though, especially the coal node. Yeah, we've got people starving or hungry now. So it begins the slow attrition of not having enough food. I guess if it really came down to it, we could take some of the people off gathering steel and equip the second hunter's cabin here, which is, if we get desperate, that's what we'll do. But we're pulling in 20 rations, and the cookhouse will turn that in. So 5 food for 2 raw. So actually, how bad is it? We're still not very good. It's better than it was. But I think we're going to have to do that. Alright, so we can turn... Let's go ahead and turn this guy off. Same with this guy. We'll turn him off. Yeah, even with that off, these are all livable or better. Especially once we upgrade them, we won't have to worry about these steam hubs. So that'll start letting us... We were slowly bleeding dry on coal, so that'll help. Another new law. We're passing laws like crazy. Okay, so if we build the fighting arena, this is what will eventually lead us to be able to make our food go further. We also, let's see, sustain life, or radical treatment. Try everything to cure the gravely ill from I don't really want to perform operation here. Sustain life. Let's do, sustain life is nice once you have the infirmaries, because if you do sustain life and all you have are the little medical posts, they get full quick. So I don't want to do this yet until we have the technology. We have the technology. Until we have the right tech to build the next level hospital, then we can throw this in there and that should work. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to throw us into ceremonial funerals. So this is what I was talking about. Loss of hope caused by deaths is cut in half. So we'll do that. That's an easy law to pass. Easy law to pass, and we haven't really had anyone die yet. I don't think we have any dead people. Yeah. But if we do, it'll cut it down. Alright, that steel wreckage is completed. Do we have any other steel that's anywhere close? Oh boy. That's what gets people sick, is when they have to walk way out here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those 15 people and put them in the hunter's hut. So we're not going to have any steel coming in, which is not ideal. Actually, let me take 5 of those and send them here. That way we are having at least some steel coming in. Okay, go ahead and get those upgraded. Looks like we're out of wood, oddly enough. Are we researching the sawmill? Okay, good. So once that sawmill upgrade finishes, they will start bringing in. So they're at 6.4 an hour, so that should push us, I think it was 25%. So that should push us up quite a bit of wood coming in from that sawmill, which we're actually using it pretty quickly in upgrading these homes. And we're out of steel. So you see what I mean when you have to balance, you know, what is important at the moment. We have a lack of food, which I think is more vital than our steel income at the moment. So we're prioritizing food gathering as opposed to resource collection. And I believe turning off those steam things, so we're still oh, it says we're perfectly even, which is interesting. We are going to need, I really hope those scouts find people. If they don't, we're going to be in trouble, mainly because I just don't have the people to operate the buildings. We need the coal mine, which I don't know. Sawmill upgrade, nice. So that went from what, 6.4 to 8. So a nice boost there as far as wood gathering. Alright, so what is the charcoal kiln? Allows us to build charcoal kilns. Use intense heat to clear up to 70 wood per standard workday. So you could turn wood into coal. So that's interesting. So I guess if you eventually run out of coal resources somehow, you could just take all your wood and convert it. We don't need to worry about that. Food and shelter. Again, it doesn't do us any good to build this because we don't have the people to use it. We don't need more scouts. We could do heaters. We don't really need that right now. Really, there's not much to do other than something like this, but we don't have the steel for it, where it heals our people faster. That's probably what we'll go with next. But yeah, you can see the amount of hungry people increasing, so we definitely made the right call by staffing the hunter's hut here. And until we get more people, we're kind of in a precarious position. Basically, I can't build anything else because I don't have the people to work it. And we've got this coal deposit here, which is almost empty. And then this one right here. And I think that's it Oh, there's 2 coal piles, but this one is really far away. That's it for our coal. No, there's 1 there. Okay, there's a lot more coal than I thought there was. But as far as the nodes that are close to town, there's only 2 left. Alright. Once this workday ends and they come back in from gathering, they'll finish constructing these homes. And then our crew is actually not too far off from finding something, hopefully people, because we are starting to not be able to make up enough food. Yep, coal pile depleted, which means you guys are going to go to that one. And this one doesn't even have all that much. It's only got 146. Uh-oh. People are hungry. Yes, I am aware. We'll feed them. I will do my best. This is what I was afraid of this game. You can think you are doing great, and then it will turn on you. But hopefully now that we have this extra 13 raw food rations that we can convert into soup because of the soup law of 2019, our people will be a lot better off. And they should finish building these houses too. So let's go ahead and speed up time here. Get those constructed. Uh-oh. The spirit of Christmas past. Oh, look at this. This is interesting. An old man visits you. Sir, you'd be forgiven if you forgot because of the evacuation and the storm, but I didn't. It's the end of December, and in the old days it meant that Christmas is near. The dark years were so hard on us that for many young people Christmas became a historical oddity. To preserve the tradition, we could celebrate it with a common meal and presents, but the most important thing is giving people hope that this year will be different. We've got to celebrate Christmas, man. You'll have to organize the Christmas festivities. Oh, man. Stockpile food rations for the Christmas feast. 105. Oh, no. What have I done? Have I made a promise we can't keep? Oh, man. Have I doomed us all by trying to celebrate Christmas? Is that what it's going to come to? I don't know. You'll have to find out next time, because that's where we're going to stop here at episode 2 of Alpha Plays Frostpunk. Did I kill Christmas? Did I kill Christmas? We'll find out. But again, thank you for tuning in, guys. Episode 3. I'm looking forward to making that one. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Again, please leave your feedback down in the comments. Give a like if you feel like it. If not, then oh well. But I enjoyed bringing this to you. Hopefully you have a great holiday season, and I appreciate you. Until next time, have a good one.